Now, key political players have intensified debate on the possibility of amending the 2010 constitution. But what lessons can Kenya draw from its past two referendums, and what are the likely implications of the plebiscite should it happen during the 2022 polls? Marimi Mwangi interrogates this week's House of Cards.
The July 18th nod from electoral body IEBC for the third way leader Dr. Ekuru Aukot-led Punguza Mizigo bill to proceed to county assemblies for debate rang what would sound as the earliest bell for a likely referendum before the 2022 elections. A debate that has hit a fever pitch as the President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga co-picked Building Bridges Task Force drafts a final report on the 9-point agenda agreed upon by Kenyatta and Odinga after their chaotic 2017 face-off. But is Kenya really ripe for a referendum?
Through interactions with the common mwananchi, what matters to the common mwananchi most is the services, the service delivery. We want to see water as members of public. We want to see good roads.
If there will be a referendum that will address two things, the stabilization, the socio-political stabilization of Kenya as a country, I will support. Two, if there will be an election, if there will be a referendum that will address the sections of the August 2010 Constitution that we have identified as lethal.
But what lessons can referendum proponents draw from political environments surrounding the country's two past plebiscites? And what is the likely impact of a referendum on the 2022 polls? In 2005, Kenya went to a referendum reeling from the talk of an alleged series of betrayal on the Raila Odinga-led wing of the NARC government from retired President Moi Kibaki's administration. A betrayal seemingly climaxed by mutilation of the initially proposed new constitution document, dubbed the Bomas Draft, preceding publication of what came to be known as the Kilifi Draft that Kenyans eventually rejected in the referendum. The win by the Odinga No camp was largely perceived as a vote of no confidence on the Kibaki administration, heading to the 2007 polls. Heightened political temperatures, which coupled with the bungled 2007 elections, plunged the country to this violence that claimed hundreds of lives. It is as a result of this dark past, pundits argue, that then top political protagonists, retired President Moi Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, gave more seriousness to the constitution-making process leading to the 2010 referendum that birthed the country's current document. But can the same be said of the ongoing referendum debate?
Politicians have taken positions even before the questions are presented. The minds of the public are already poisoned depending on who is talking and from which region they come from and from what perception they have of which team they are supporting. Therefore, once again, I suspect that Kenyans will vote for whatever document will come, based on political persuasions and political inclinations.
The process that is ongoing, and after the task force, the BBI task force, the Punguza Mizigo initiative, that at some point when it will come back to the IBC, those two processes must, be subjected to public education, to civic education, to political education.
Of course, there will be politics. There will be two competing groups, my prediction. And that is normal. It's very healthy. In a peaceful environment, if you have ideological competition, that's what Kenyans require. And ultimately, if the result of that ideological competition leads to unacceptable results.
Political bigwigs, including Odinga and leaders from President Kenyatta's Jubilee Party, have all appeared to gang up against the Aukot Punguza Mizigo bill. But it is not any rosier for the BBI task force that continues to face criticism from Deputy President William Ruto's camp. Criticism escalated by political suspicion of what is the endgame of the now 19-month-old cooperation deal between Ruto's boss, President Kenyatta, and their joint 2017 chief rival Odinga. Also nagging the Ruto camp is the question of what role, if any, Kenyatta and Odinga will play in the constitution of the 2022 government. Should the BBI yield to several presentations before the task force for reintroduction of the powerful post of Prime Minister? But what about the electoral body IEBC that would have to oversee the said referendum should it happen?
You know, a referendum for us is just one election. It will come, the teams are here, the structure is there, we shall do it and in one day and finish.
The IBC has to be reconstituted because the IBC that exists today is part of the larger IBC that has been depleted over time, that does not enjoy the full confidence and the trust of all stakeholders.
As we speak today, we have no law on how we can appoint new commissioners. Do we go the political party way? Do we go through the religious way? Do we do a hybrid? Do we import commissioners or a chairman who is not from any particular tribe? Those issues have not been addressed.
I'm not the appointing authority of commissioners. If it was my wish, they would have been appointed a long time ago. There are other agencies who are tasked with that responsibility. And as we speak, Parliament is in the process of finalizing the law on what should constitute the selection panel so that replacement of the 4 can be done.
Nevertheless, the country stares to interesting times ahead as political players fight to land on strategic political formations should the referendum talk end up at the ballot prior to the 2022 polls.